MK Mueller again, the author of 8 to Great, as well as the 8 to Great curriculum for 6th through 12th graders. I've been asked, how does 8 to Great impact faculty? There's nothing worse than low faculty morale, as we all know. So I just want to tell you one story. I had a college professor, actually, who came up to me after a talk and said, could I ride with you to your next talk because I'm really curious about what you do? And I said, I'd love that. Well, on the way, I asked her the 8 to Great question. Oh yes, it's a question I want all of you to start asking your students, whether you implement 8 to Great in your schools or not. Start asking them this question. What is your dream? My favorite discipline activity, and many administrators around the country are using it, is when the student walks in and starts to give all the excuses and complaints about what happened, you simply silence them with, Zachary, thanks, I just have one question. What's your dream again? Zachary tells you, well, I want to be a veterinarian. That's a great dream. And just curious, Zachary, today are you running to or from? Often he fesses up right then and there. So let's get back to that teacher that was writing with me to my talk. I said, so Julie, tell me, what's your dream? Oh, I can't tell you, she said. I said, oh my goodness, we have hours in the car together, dear one. I bet I'm going to get it out of you. Okay, she said, I want to start a business. And I said, now why is that embarrassing, Julie? And she said, I teach business at Creighton University. I should have started a business years ago. And I said, oh, remember in 8 to Great, we don't should on each other. We don't should on ourselves. So don't worry about that now. Let's help you find a business while we're here in this city that we're going to be visiting. And she said, you think you're going to find one in the next 24 hours? And I've been looking for 20 years. And I said, I don't think, I know. Sure enough, we found her a wonderful little business, and she started one of 7 businesses over the next few years. She started it just a few weeks later. So now we're driving home, and the conversation went like this. Well, you asked me about my dream. Yeah. But you didn't ask me about my problems. I mean, aren't you going to ask about my problems? And I said, you know, coaches really don't ask about your problems. We more focus on the solution. But you can tell me your problem if you want to. And she said, well, I play solitaire online. And I said, okay, why is that a problem? Almost 200 games a day. Wow. Sounds like depression to me. How about you? Julie was only eating, sleeping, and teaching college classes when she wasn't playing solitaire online. Where was she? She was teaching high finance. What's that sound like she's caught in? Left brain activity. She was teaching finance in the business school of a wonderful university. What happened that day is she found a right brain, creative new business to start. 3 months after our conversation, Julie had created this quilt. I'm just going to let you look at it for just a second. She calls it Shutter Release. She said it was like the light was let into her life when she started to follow that dream. I say, Julie, I think the light was let out. It really deserves to be in a museum, but I take it with me whenever I get to speak to audiences because I want to tell the story of what happens when students or faculty use the 8 highways to access their dream and find success.